All right, mastery check walkthrough for the Unit 2 sections. All right, this is solving equations. Okay, so if you need to take a look back at the notes, please continue to be doing that so you have understanding. But I'm going to walk these through. So remember, some of these we got to distribute. This 8 is on the outside, so this just drops down. Okay, we got 4 times negative 7, which is negative 28. We got 4 times negative 3m, which is negative 12m. Don't forget your equal sign. Then we got 40 plus 3m. Okay, so after you distribute, then you want to combine like terms. On the left, do I have like terms? I do right here. No other m's on the left. Do I have like terms on the right? I do not. So I got negative 28 and a positive 8, which gives me a negative 20. Then I have this minus 12m is equal to 40 plus 3m. Okay, so no more like terms, no more like terms. Now I want to work with my variable term first. Okay, so I'm going to find the term with the variable, and then I'm going to do the opposite operation, the inverse operation. Here I have a negative 12m, so I need to do a positive 12m so I can get my variable on one side of the equation. Okay, then this now becomes negative 20, negative 12m plus 12m, those go away. We got the equal sign, we got 40, we got 3m plus 12m, which is a positive 15m. Okay, now I want to get my non-variable terms to the opposite side. Since my variable's here on the right, let's move our number terms to the other side. Okay, so I got this minus 40. Let's see here. Negative 20 minus 40 is negative 60. This is equal to, those go away, we got 15m. Now we get rid of the coefficient by dividing by the coefficient. Oops. 15 and 15. Negative 60 divided by positive 15 is going to be a negative 4. This is equal to m. Okay, remember it wants you to write this in set notation. So I'm going to do that here. Remember that squiggly bracket. M is an element of real numbers such that m is equal to negative 4. So this is the answer that I am looking for. Alright, number 2, let's do this distribution. Negative 5 times n, negative 5n, negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. Okay, then we got 12n minus 16 plus 4n. Okay, I'm just going to do this in blue so I don't have to keep switching colors. Like terms, on the left side, nothing to combine, drop down. Here we got 12n plus 4n, that is 16n, and then we got minus 16. I'm going to deal with my variable term first. So now I got 5 is equal to 21n minus 16. Then I'm going to move my non-variable term. I get 21 is equal to 21n divided by 21, and we get 1 is equal to n. So n is an element of real numbers such that n is equal to 1. Alright, number 3, we got a negative times a negative 7 for a positive 7. Negative times negative 2x is positive 2x. Negative times x is negative x. Negative times 7 is negative 7. This is equal to x. Alright, so I got this 7 minus 7, which is 0. 2x minus x is x. Okay, so I got x is equal to x. All right, you can probably already see it right now. It is a special case solution, but let's actually try to make these variables disappear because we do want to make the variables disappear. So if we have an x on one side, I want to get rid of the x. I'm going to minus x from both sides. X minus x equals 0. Then we got the equal, x minus x equals 0. 0 equals 0. Is that true? That is true, but don't just write true. We need to know that true means all real numbers. Remember, if you have false, okay, false is no solution. Okay, but this one is true, so it is all real numbers. All right, then we have solve the equation and justify your steps. Okay, so we need to do the justification. You take your equation. The first step is always your given. Okay, then we got to look. How many terms do we got? 1, 2, 3. Okay, remember, this is the variable term. I'm going to deal with this last. It is already on the right, so I want to move all my number terms to the left. Which number terms do I have? I have a positive 8, so I can subtract 8 from both sides. Okay, 6 minus 8 gives me a negative 2. This becomes 0. This whole fraction drops down. So I got 3m. Let's fix that up. 3m over 6. Okay. From this step to this step, which property of equality did I use? I used the subtraction property of equality. Make sure you label these as you go down. Now that I'm down to 2 terms, I want to get rid of this fraction. Right now, 3m is being divided by 6. Opposite of divided by 6 is multiply by 6. So I'm going to multiply both sides. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Okay, remember, when we multiply this side by this 6, this one and this one are gone. We are left with the numerator. This is equal to 3m. So I multiplied. So from here to here, I did the multiplication property of equality. Okay, now I need to get rid of this 3 next to my m. They are multiplying right now. Opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. Okay, these are gone and I have m. So this step to this step, I did the division property of equality. Okay, but I also want this in set notation. So m is an element of the real number system such that m is equal to, let's get rid of that, m is equal to negative 4. Alright, so this was 2.1, solving equations. Alright, let's go to the next one. We got 2.2, which is solving inequalities. Okay, so remember, think of things as in terms. I got one term here, I got one term here. Okay, since I'm down to 2 terms already, I can get rid of this denominator. I am going to multiply both sides by 9. Okay, so 9 times 5 is 45. This 9 and this 9, donezo. I got my inequality sign, then I got 15 plus 15b. Okay, I have a variable, it's already on the right, so no need to move it. Let's move this 15 out of there. We do that by subtracting 15. 45 minus 15 is 30. Our sign stays the same because we did not divide or multiply by a negative number, and we got 15b. Now we're going to divide both sides by 15, and 30 divided by 15 is 2. Okay, and then we have our b on the right. Okay, remember, when you graph, just draw your number line. I want the 0. What value do we have here? We have a positive 2, so that's going to go to the right of the 0. And then we start by saying The B, what part is facing the B? The open part is facing the B. So that means greater than or equal to. So we need a solid dot at positive 2. Greater than or equal to means we go to the right. Okay, here we're going to drop this 8. We're going to distribute 3 times 2n plus 6n, 3 times negative 2 minus 6, greater than or equal to 2, and then plus 6n. All right, let's combine our like terms. We got 8 minus 6, which is 2. So we got this 2 plus 6n greater than or equal to 2 plus 6n. Let's get rid of our variable term. So I'm going to minus 6n minus 6n. Now I got 2 is greater than or equal to 2. Now my variable disappeared. This is where I ask myself, do I have a true or false statement? Okay, so is 2 greater than or equal to 2? It's not greater than, but it is equal to. So yes, this is true. And true means all real numbers. So the way that we graph this on a number line, okay, we know we want the 0. We're going to take every single number. So our graph is going to go both ways. We're going to include everything. You could even fill this in like this, as long as you indicate that you are choosing every single number. Okay, that is all real numbers. All right, this one is a does not equal to. Okay, so remember, look, we got 3 terms. We're going to do the same thing. Add or subtract any terms out first. Okay, we got 1 minus 5, that is negative 4. We have our does not equal to, and then we got this 2x minus 4 over 4. Okay, now we're down to 2 terms. Get rid of this denominator by multiplying both sides by that denominator. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. These are done. We got 2x minus 4 by itself. Okay, now the variable term is here. Let's move everything again to the other side. We do that by adding this 4. Negative 16 plus 4 is negative 12. Okay, does not equal 2x. We want to divide by 2. Negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. And we have our x. So x does not equal negative 6. So we need our arrow, we need our 0, we need our negative 6. And remember, does not equal to. So that means every number works except for number 6. If we are not including a number, we use a open dot, but we need to signify every other number. And then this open dot says every number except for negative 6. All right, let's go ahead and distribute this. We got negative 18 less than or equal to 2v. 2 times negative 6, negative 12. Okay, I want to add 12 to both sides. Negative 18 plus 12 is negative 6, greater than or equal to, or sorry, less than or equal to 2v. Okay, now I need to divide both sides by 2. Okay, negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. We got the sign. It stays the same. Why does it stay the same? Even though this is negative, we divided by a positive. We did not divide by a negative. Okay, so we got v. So I got my value of 0. I know I'm using negative 3. That would go to the left. Then I start with saying this v. What is facing the v? The greater than or equal to. So greater than or equal to is a solid dot, and greater than or equal to means we go to the right. All right, last one. We got 82 less than. We got this 2. 4 times 5 is positive 20. 4 times 5p is positive 20p. Do I have like terms? I sure do. So we got 82 less than 22 plus 20p. I'm going to subtract 22 from both sides. 82 minus 22 is going to be 60. Is less than 20p. Divide both sides by 20. And we get 3 and p. So p is greater than 3. Okay, so greater than is just a open dot, and greater than is to the right. Okay. All right, I think that's it. 2.2. Let's go ahead and check 2.4. Okay, this is our rational equations. Remember, we need to make sure we list the restricted value. We are going to take every denominator that has a variable, okay, and we're going to set that equal to 0. Okay, so this is going to go over here. X plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, set it to 0 and then solve for x, or whatever variable you have. So I would do minus 6, and I would get x equals negative 6. This is now my restricted value, and the way that we show the restricted value is we write x cannot equal, and then we put this value here. Okay. Now we want to solve, but we got three terms. So just like we did before, we got to get rid of this 2. So we subtract the 2. Now we got 4 minus 2, which is 2 is equal to 4 over x plus 6. Okay. Now we can do our cross multiply. We have a fraction equal to a fraction. If it doesn't look like a fraction, turn it into 1 by putting it over 1. Okay, cross multiply. We got 4 times 1, which is 4. Okay, now we got 2 times x plus 6. Remember, if these are two terms, you have to group them. So put that parenthesis around it. We got 2 times x plus 6, and we write it like this. Now we just distribute and solve. So we got 4 equals 2x plus 12. We're going to subtract the 12. 4 minus 12 is negative 8. And this is equal to 2x. Divide by the 2. We get negative 4 equals x. So the other part of our solution is x equals negative 4. So we can't equal negative 6, but we can equal negative 4. All right. Over here, we do the same thing. We got x plus 2, x plus 2. We only need to do it once. Okay. Subtract the 2, we get x equals negative 2. So our first thing is x cannot equal negative 2. All right, now we got groups. Let's group them and then let's cross multiply. 6 times x plus 2. 8 times x plus 2. Remember, don't forget your equal sign. All right, this becomes 6 times x, which is 6x. 6 times 2 is positive 12. Equals 8 times x. 8 times positive 2 is 16. Okay, let's get rid of our variable term first. Minus 6x, minus 6x. 12 is equal to 2x plus 16, minus 16, minus 16. Negative 4 equals 2x. Divide by 2. Negative 2 equals x. So, if this and this are the same, if x equals negative 2 but x can't equal negative 2, this is conflicting, okay? And that means we cannot do it, so this is actually a no solution. Remember, this is one of those special cases. All right, let's go ahead and solve this. Set the denominator with the variable. 2x minus 3 equals 0. We want to add 3. So we get 2x equals 3. Divide both sides by 2. We get x equals 3 over 2. So here, x cannot equal 3 over 2. Now let's solve this. So we got to get rid of this 14 first. All right, 126 over 2x minus 3 comes down. 28 minus 14 is 14. Okay, now we can do our cross multiply. 126 times 1 is 126. 14 times 2x minus 3. So we got 126 equals 28x. 14 times 3. 10, 20, 30. 4, 8, 12 minus 42. Okay, now I'm going to add 42 to both sides. This stupid pen. All right, 126 plus 42, 168 is equal to 28x. Ugh, I don't feel like doing the math on that, so let's do this. 168 divided by 28 is equal to 6. So we got 6 is equal to x. So x is equal to 6. Boom. All right, here we got fraction and fraction. We got two different denominators, so we got to do this twice. 3x minus 4 equals 0, and then we also got 5x minus 10 equals 0. So let's add the 4. Oh, these 4s, man. So we got 3x equals positive 4 divided by 3. We get x is equal to 4/3. So this is one of our solutions. X cannot equal 4/3. And then let's do this one. We got plus 10, 5x equals 10. And we got x is equal to 2. So x cannot equal 2. All right. Now we need to group and group. So we got 7 times 5x minus 10. And we got 12 times equals 12 times 3x minus 4. So we got 35x minus 70 equals 36x minus 12, 24, 48. Okay, let's deal with our x terms first. Minus 35x minus 35x. We got negative 70 equals 36 minus 35 is just x minus 48. We're going to add the 48 to both sides. This is ridiculous. So that I don't want to do either. Let's do 48 minus 70. Negative 22. So x is equal to negative 22. So this one has more answers. All right, we got the same thing here. We got two of these. We got to set them both equal to 0. So x is equal to 0. All right, already solved. Pretty good. All right, then we got 3x minus 5 equals 0. Add the 5. 3x equals 5. Divide by the 3. We get x equals 5/3. So x cannot equal 5/3. Now let's solve. We got 6 times, let's group this. 6 times 3x minus 5. And we got equals 15 times x. So here we got 18x minus 30 equals 15x. Number term is already by itself, variable on both. Let's go ahead and move this. Negative 18x, negative 18x. And now we got negative 30 equals negative 3x. Divide by the whole thing in front of the x, negative 3. We get 10 equals x. So we got x actually equals 10. That is our solution. All right, very good. All right, our last section, we got literal equations. Okay, Remember, you want to figure out what you are actually solving for, and we're going to apply the same rules as everything that we have done before with solving equations. Okay, you just got to make sure that you are looking at these as terms and then figure out what you need to get rid of and in what order you can get rid of them. Okay, so I'm trying to keep this A. Where's the A? It's here on the left. Okay, I'm going to put a box around it. I want to get this A by itself. What else do I have on the left? Well, I have a positive K. What is the opposite of a positive K? Well, just a plain old negative K. So K minus K turns into a 0. This A drops down. Okay, then I got W minus V, and then I got this minus K. Remember, none of these are like terms, so they can't combine with each other. All we're trying to do is get one by itself. The others will look however they look. Okay, so this one I'm trying to solve for X. This is my term right here. X and M are multiplying. Okay, that would be kind of like an example like this. What would you do? Okay, we just don't have numbers here. So the same rule applies. I need to deal with this term last. Right now I got this negative y. How do I get rid of this negative y? By adding a y. Okay, so here I got z plus y, which is just z plus y. Okay, equals, my x and m come down. And then I got this negative y plus y. Those are gone. Okay, now these two are multiplying. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So if I'm keeping the x, I'm dividing by the m. So I divide both sides by m. Here I got z plus y over m is equal to, m and m go away. I'm left with just the x. So now x is completely by itself. Alright, I am trying to keep the A. I got how many terms? 1, 2, 3. I want this term to deal with last. Okay, how do I get rid of this positive B? By subtracting a B. Okay, so we got z minus B. Okay, and then I got B minus B is 0, and then I got this M over A. Okay, so now that I have my variable term by itself on one side, yes, I still do have 3 terms, but what I can do is I can actually group this, okay, and I want to get this variable A out of the denominator, and I do that by doing good old-fashioned cross multiply. Okay, so I need this z minus b to be as a fraction, so over 1. So I got this m times 1, which is m. And then I have a times z minus b. Let's leave it as a group because this z minus b is going to be a factor. So I got 2 factors in this product. Z minus b is a factor, and then I got a as a factor. I'm trying to keep the a. Okay, so just like here, I had 2 factors. X and m. Which factor did I divide? I divided m by m because I wanted to get rid of it. In this case, I want to get rid of the z minus b, so I'm going to divide both sides by the z minus b. Z minus b and z minus b are gone. I got m over z minus b is equal to just my a. Okay, so some of these might take a few little steps to get to where you need to go. Okay, I got g equals cxy. I got 3 factors in this product. I'm trying to keep the x so I can get rid of the c, get rid of the y, and I do that by dividing. So g over cy. So I now got g over cy. C goes away, y's go away. I got just the x, and I am done. All right. Last one. I want to get keep the x. I got this np minus y. How do I get rid of the m in front? Well, I just simply divide. Okay, there's no other terms that I need to move on the left side where my variable term is. It's by itself. So I can divide this by m, and then I can divide this side by m. So m over m goes away. We got x is equal to, and we can just leave this whole piece as is, np minus y over m. All right, and that is it. That is solving literal equations. All right, hopefully this helped you guys. I'm trying to do everything that I can to help make things a little bit easier for you and preparing for what you need to prepare for. So please let me know if you guys want me in the future to start doing more stuff like this before you take your retakes. All right, good luck.